Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, social securities, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you.
This program is furnished by amp2tv.square.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on amp2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Hello out there in Cyberland, in Radioland, and possibly on the road. Welcome to the Holistic Flow Show. My name is Dr. Lynn Migdal, and I want you to know that I'm a flow addict. And I hope that when we spend the next 20 minutes together, that you will be addicted to flow as well. See, flow will help you to go from stress to peace. Choosing to flow from sadness to happiness, from poverty consciousness to abundance, it's all a matter of flow. And we have choices all day long. See, there's only one thought that goes in here, but before I get away with too much and go through the anatomy of your flow and why it's important for you to flow, see, my friend Flo, she's going to take you wherever you want to go. So listen carefully and realize that you deserve to feel good, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be healthy, and everything that you need is found within you. Flow is inside you, all the time waiting for you to call on her. There's a lot of stress in our society right now, and that's why this talk is so important. And I'm very honored and thankful to be called to here today to reach out to you for you to understand how important you are and how important your nervous system is to the functioning of your body and your life. The nervous system is the most holistic system in the body. So let me break down that word, because some people don't know what holistic means. Holistic means all of you. We don't want to leave any part out. So all of you needs to flow. In order for the nervous system to be healthy, it needs flow. See, I'm in a very high state of happiness and health and peace right now, but I wasn't always like that. I was traumatized as a kid. I was brought up with a lot of verbal abuse and sexual abuse, and my nervous system was a mess. So thank God I went to chiropractic school 41 years ago, and my nervous system started to get help, holistic help. You see, the nervous system runs emotional fitness, nutritional fitness, and physical fitness. So some of you out there are just running to different, the health food store to get nutritional fitness, or you're going to the psychotherapist to get mental fitness, and then you're going to the gym to get, physically fit, and that's all good. But you got to put it all together, because if you leave anything out, the nervous system might not be happy. So the chart it's on my left right now, is showing you your nervous system, because I want you to know I'm not making this stuff up. Inside you, there are miracles waiting to happen in your body and your life. You just need to flow. And it comes in seconds. Some people say, but I have so many negative thoughts and they keep coming and I can't control them. And that's because you are deciding that you can't control them, because there's only one thought that goes through here. So let's do something that I usually do at the beginning of a talk before I get carried away and get off the subject. I'd like you to take out some mental dental floss right now. Mental dental floss. You know what dental floss is, what you clean your teeth with? Put one in this side of the ear and then put one in the other side of the ear, and let's clean out all the negative thoughts or what maybe you think where health comes from, or what maybe someone might have told you what your future's going to be, or what you can or you cannot do. So let's start off clear. You can put that slide back on, because it's an important slide that most people don't know how beautiful the nervous system is and its function. The slide on the left is showing that the brain has to communicate with the spinal cord and the spinal nerves. If you look closely at this picture, if you check it out later, if you're driving, I'm sorry you can't see this, but what it shows is that we're electrical systems. And in order for the nervous system to be healthy and for it to run at its maximum potential, it needs to flow. So in actuality, I'm a holistic doctor of flow, being a chiropractor, because my job is to assist nervous systems to flow if the bones are out of place and they might be pressing on a nerve. I'm also a breath flow doctor, which we're going to talk about in this very short talk, because your breath has to flow. Matter of fact, if you look at that chart, everything has to flow. We want our bowels to flow. We feel much better when those bowels are flowing good. That's flow. And even nutritional fitness comes from the brain connecting down the spinal column through the spinal nerves to your stomach. So how much hydrochloric acid your stomach makes is a job of the brain and the spinal cord and the spinal nerves. How much insulin your pancreas makes, job of the brain to talk to the spine, to talk to the nervous system that comes out of the middle back. So no matter whether you have surgery or whether you're on medicine, we're not talking about getting rid of any of that. But today's about how you can assist your own flow so that you can raise your levels of health and empowerment, because it's really all up to us and each person. I run my nervous system and you have to take care of yours. To the right of that chart, and I know I'm racing through here, but I just want you to get a little look about the magic that really lives inside you. On the other side of the chart is the vagus nerve, and that's a nerve that's getting lots of publicity, and it's in research almost every day, and that's because they're finding that the vagus nerve controls and can help and assist. They learned this with the vets. To soothe post-traumatic stress disorder and hopefully to relieve people from post-traumatic stress. I learned about the vagus nerve 41 years ago. Chiropractors honor the vagus nerve because the vagus nerve comes out, and it's not in the spinal column, it comes out of the head area here, and then it travels down in front of the spine, around by the jaw area, comes around, and then it goes down here, pierces, goes under the clavicle bones, and that feeds your heart and your lungs and your stomach too. So there's two different systems going on that have to flow in order for you to be healthy, in order for you to be happy, and in order for you to live in peace. The vagus nerve, one of the most important things about the vagus nerve, and we only talked about half of it besides communicating to the digestive system, the heart and the lungs, is that it controls your hormonal reaction to stress. Got any stress out there lately? Do you know anyone else who's stressed out there lately? Come on, we're hearing about shootings, natural disasters, all kinds of sickness. People are worried about money. People are in the future worried about things that they don't even know is going to happen, but they're seeing them and the nervous system is picking it up. So with all that stress, the answer is to honor yourself by choosing to flow. Can you bring up the next slide? Because breath flow is something that's really under your control. This is a very quick talk that I'm giving. I have workshops and trainings on the different parts of the nervous system, but today what you're getting is a holistic, quick picture of how you can flow and a quick tool that you can use with this to increase your flow. Because right now, cell phones and technology are stopping the flow, but it's your choice. You see, we can't really blame these things, and I don't want to talk about the radiation or anything that they're admitting. I just want to talk about what you're in control over, because that's what you can change. You know, recovery has a great prayer. People in recovery, that's where I've heard it from, and I just want to repeat it right now because I think it's important with the amount of stress, and that's about praying to accept the things you can't change. You see, a lot of times we get stuck in the past because we're trying to change things that we're not in control over. And then the rest of the prayer is, also praying for the peace and the courage to change the things we can, like what I'm going to show you now, okay? And the wisdom to know the difference. I think that's a great prayer, and I use that a lot when I want to go to a point of peace in my consciousness if I'm having a good time. That's a really good prayer. So, the usual techno posture is the man on the left there. So what's he doing? He's got his head down and he's compressing one vagus nerve because his head's down into one side. And the redness that you see on that x-ray, he is hurting his neck nerves because the normal neck curve is concave in the back. When you put your head all the ways down and forward, you're pinching the nervous system. But our next conversation is about another major part of holistic flow that you need to hear from me. See, I call myself a natural neurologist. I'm a doctor of chiropractic because I take care of the nervous system holistically, naturally. And without proper breath flow, you can't have anything else go on that's healthy. Could you put the slide back on, please? Thank you. So, if you look at the anatomy chart, and we're soon going to be done with anatomy, but the proper posture that it's showing, and for those that you are driving, you could just listen to this. If your hands are on the steering wheel, maybe you want to spread them a little wider or a little bit lower if you're not turning, so that you can open up your shoulders. In order to have your breath flow and have great oxygen for the brain and for the whole body, for your mind, for focus, for memory. There's so much stress that people keep saying that they can't remember, why they walked into a room. Are you finding that you're out of focus or maybe having some fog? Oxygen and breath flow is the key. But when you go into proper breath posture, like that picture on the right there, shoulders are back and down, so take the steering wheel, those of you that are driving, get your shoulders back and down and see if you can, hold it a little bit lower. For those that you are driving, you have a right foot either on your gas and on the brake right now, but you have a left leg that doesn't know what to do, and usually it does the wrong things, just like you might be hanging out, out of the window of the car while you're driving with your right hand and, have your left foot up. So I'd like to put you in a symmetrical posture. Those of you out there that are listening and on a long drive, you want to be sitting on both cheeks. So those of you that are not driving, you can stamp your feet right now, know where balance is from the left to the right foot, wiggle your butt around so that you get straight in the car. And your shoulders are back and down. Those of you that are driving, the left foot has a bump. Look for it right now. Well, don't look for it, feel for it. Watch the road, guys. Don't stop looking at where you're going. But when your left foot goes up forward, you want it to be equal with the pedal foot so that you can have balance while driving, and you have the space now, like that picture, of an open breath space. So the more open your chest is, the more open your throat area is. You see there's a windpipe there? The guy on the left of that other picture, he's cutting it off. So it's pretty hard when your head is down to fully breathe. The woman that's in the middle there is just showing you that the vagus nerve is a cranial nerve. It's a nerve that comes down from the brain. And I said it goes through the clavicles, feeds the heart and lungs, and then it pierces the diaphragm. The diaphragm is found at the bottom. You don't have to change your cameras. I don't care if we don't see my face. Right here, if you, not driving now, those that are home, you can take your fingers into the middle of the rib cage, and in the middle there's a hole there. That's usually where your diaphragm is. If your belly is big, it's probably a little bit lower than that. The vagus nerve goes all the way down to your pubic bone, so it's called the wanderer, but it's the most holistic nerve in the body. I want you to remember the picture on the left because the slide is going to go down. And he is there, and look at the rib cage on this picture. Sorry, you guys that are driving, look at the road. You could see that the ribs are contracted in his posture. Okay, that's enough for Anatomy 101. We did that real fast. You understand my accent? Hope you understand Brooklynese here, and that I'm clear. So, if flow is the answer, then why don't we always flow? Why don't we always choose flow? See, flow is pleasurable. Let's take our breaths right now. Those of you that are driving, keep your hands on the steering wheel, but those of you that are at home, take your hands and I want you to touch your breath. I want you to touch your ribs and make contact, because breathing is a way of connecting back to peace. Breathing is a way of oxygenating and de-stressing the entire nervous system. Your spine, your brain, and your breath are connected. And right now with technology, they're stressed out. So let's breathe. While I'm speaking, I would like you to flow your breath and make sure your hands are moving in and out like an accordion. Let's take 3 breaths through our mouth. You never want to push out on expiration because that's hyperventilation. Hands go out, chest opens on inspiration, contracts on expiration. And then the other pump is the up and down pump of the diaphragm. So I said if your diaphragm is here, then if you put your hand on your chest, not you that are driving or holding onto the steering wheel looking straight ahead, but you can do this when you get home, okay? Diaphragm's job is to push the bowels out of the way. Believe it or not, your colon is right by above where the diaphragm is. The diaphragm is a contraction. It goes down so that the air could go up. So the pump is now a vertical pump. Let's breathe in and out through your nose 3 times. And that's the mechanics of your breath. So for those of you who are home, and hopefully you can do this with your children, go into your normal state where the phone is way down, like maybe, like way down, like by your knees, on the car seat or whatever. Your head is totally twisted and down. And please take a breath for me, not you who are driving. Those of you that are home, take a breath. Let's go in through the nose and out through the mouth. And feel it, feel the space. And now all you have to do is just put it in 2 hands, get your shoulders back and down, and let's breathe the phone up to eye level. So we have choices all day long. Nutritional choices, emotional choices, and this is your physical choice you're doing all day long. Chemical choices. Our thoughts can be as toxic foods. So we want to eliminate poisons to the nervous system, and we want to reduce stress in the body so that the nervous system can function to its optimum. I hope everyone there, or if you're driving, you could do this when you get off, or maybe see a recording on YouTube or Facebook, where you can look this up and go over this with yourself. So your head is way down, it's twisted, a one-side text that you do, or you're checking your phone, beep, beep. We're all addicted to the beep, 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 beep. Down, 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 all day long like this. Take a breath, and you can see that the breath only comes up halfway, because structurally you can't breathe fully when it's down. When you have it up here, and it's not like a selfie, okay, because you don't want your arms stretched out either all day long. You want the shoulders back and down, very gently bring it up. If you can't see, you would extend at the elbow, and now take a breath, and you can see that holding your phone up is a physical one tool that you can do to help your nervous system so that you can flow back to peace. The other thing is just deciding that you deserve peace. And maybe no one ever told you that you can choose peace at any moment. You see, there's only one thought that goes through here. You get to choose if you want to choose, an angry thought, and then listen to yourself and go, that's another angry thought. How does that make me feel? It makes you feel terrible. So you have to decide whether you want to feel good. And if you want to feel good, then you want to balance and flow your thoughts back to peace. Eat well, less toxins the better. That'd be a conversation for another time about nutritional wellness and nutritional fitness. But the breath and the spinal posture is what you're in control of totally to allow your nerves to flow. See, there are many things that we are not in control over, but when you strengthen the nervous system, when you choose holistic fitness, chemical fitness, nutritional fitness, emotional fitness, it doesn't mean you're not going to be sad or never be angry or never have a fearful thought. It just means you're not going to do it all day long, or you're not going to do it for an hour. Hopefully you're not going to do it more than a minute because the less time, and again, you could choose out of it because we're really funny. You might want to look at maybe the humor of the situation, because laughter will make you breathe. Whenever you can, touch your breath and start to flow. Breath in Latin is in spirit. So actually when we are choosing breath connection, we're choosing to connect to our spirit. And you're also strengthening your levels of love and peace on the planet. Remember the vagus nerve right up here? Getting worse from having it pinched here can cause more rage, anger, depression, all kinds of things going on hormonally that we don't need, obesity. So many of the problems that we are suffering today can be fixed if you choose to flow. So thank you. I don't know if there's any calls that want to come in.
How do people reach you?
Excuse me?
How do people reach you?
People reach me at drlynmcdowell.com or go to the recording of this so that you can be able to, really write it down if you're driving, because I have a hard last name. My phone number is 561 for those of you that are by a pen or pencil, 322-6735. I'm available virtually around the world, and I am also local. So I have an office in Delray Beach, and I've been doing this for 41 years. This is the Holistic Flow Doc, praying and hoping that you now decide how important it is for you to flow. Thank you. Choose peace. It's an honor. The peace in me honors the peace in you. See you next time. Have a good night.
Nice. Easy, right?
I need more props.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-54